So how's everybody doing? You still awake, I hope? So Nancy, you asked something about teaching and learning. Well, that is what we do. So it's a nice dovetail into feedback fruits. So as opposed to in the world of, enrollments and administration, let's get into it. So what's new with AI and Hejib? Well, feedback fruits, I guess, is new. So what our problem is, it is a teaching and learning problem. It's about engagement. So you can see here, this is what we call the Red Bull chart. So it's where students typically fall through a term and knowledge retention isn't so great. They cram at the end and they make things go through that final learning stage. So what we offer is authentic assessment and interactive learning journeys to make sure that these skills are developed through time with the help of AI. So this hopefully will make knowledge stick and make learners be more engaged. So how the heck do we do that? I guess that's a good question. And why the heck do we do that? Well, the first thing about effective teaching is this is the upside down pyramid where we talk about the steps of effective learning and how we make that stickiness happen. The historical areas and some of the pearls of education that have been threatened by ChatGPT and AI are some of the more basic types of learning. So what you might call passive learning. And these types of scenarios are super, super critical to, in my opinion, eradicate to make sure that the learning retention and knowledge retention increases. So what we've seen and what's been proven in EDUCAUSE reports and different other kind of teaching and learning methods is we've got to make sure that this is more active. Teaching by doing, group work, peer review, group aspects, debates, discussions, et cetera, et cetera. But what's the problem here? Why isn't everybody doing this? Because it's really, really tricky to do at scale. So we see a lot of poster board sessions where instructors have dreamt up this beautiful thing in SPSS or Excel, won many awards, but how the heck do we do that for a whole institution or a whole department? So what Feedback Fruits does is we have a suite of 15 tools that offer specific pedagogical focus for, Nancy, teaching and learning. So our most popular areas around feedback and assessment or collaboration and engagement. So they pair with I'm in London right now, so they're talking about the teaching excellence frameworks in America. This goes with accreditation as far as student voice, peer review, and interactivity as far as giving group feedback, but also RSI and collaboration engagement, so repeated and substantial interaction when it comes to making sure that students are asynchronously or synchronously engaging with those materials and going back and forth. But how do we make sure that this is scaled? There's templates, there's different aspects for sharing. But AI is our real secret sauce as far as making sure that this is something that can go out at an institution. So we have one thing that's throughout all of these tools, and it's called the Automated Feedback Coach. Now, it's a large language model, real-time professionalized tips and feedback writing, but the goal here is to increase the quality of feedback to students. Now, if you go back to that, many buttons here, you can see discussions and group member evaluations and all this, but what fails with all of these tools if students aren't actually reading their feedback. So we solve for the giving and reading feedback and that critical thought aspect in Bloom's taxonomy with rewarding points to make sure, did you read your feedback? Did you give that feedback? Did you respond to that feedback? Did you cite a response to that feedback? But the quality aspect is done by Microsoft Azure's OpenAI service. What this does is it makes sure that what you're commenting isn't just that was bad or that was silly, but something that's constructive that can help the learner on the other side of the screen. So that's our automated feedback coach that's embedded in all of our tools across the platform. Now, the other area that I think is really fun here to explain, we have a bunch of different AI tools. This is called automated feedback. So automated feedback is an assignment tool. And I guess the big thing to mention is all of these tools integrate into the LMS. There's no external platform. We piggyback on the authentication and the single sign-in within the LMS. So it just shows up like an assignment. So the student doesn't know if it's, Canvas or Brightspace or Blackboard or whatever. But the big thing here is this tool, automated feedback, is done to help students learn how to do key aspects within academic writing. So one of the most popular ones here is referencing. So I don't know how to do a WPA. I'm an economics student and I'm forced to write that one paper at the end of the term. I can use this automated feedback tool to submit a paper and get responses at any time of the day that can help me author my paper in a more effective way. Now, the one thing is this type of tooling is not like Grammarly. It doesn't autocorrect because the pedagogical value behind a bot shouldn't be something that just makes it go away. What it does is it offers a comprehensive report on that particular document where the student can download and go side to side and make the comparisons by themselves. Now, when we go into all these tools, they can be chained together for a learning journey. This might be something before a peer review or delivery of a document. The most common practice of this is it's an opt-in. So it doesn't have a grading component, but all of our other tools pair and push grades directly back to the LMS gradebook, syncs groups. So if you're looking at a group project, it also has different interactivities with the LMS calendars, notifications to make sure it's a seamless way of running through. Now, our principles were based in Amsterdam are really deep in the EU guidelines for trustworthy AI. So human agency, human in loops, but really we meet each institution where they are as far as what they're comfortable with AI. And our mantra internally is making sure that pedagogy trumps over technology. Now, lastly, what is our vision? And we've started with the automated feedback coach. We move into automated feedback on academic writing. Where are we going? We're going to AI-powered content generators for instructors. This is where you upload a document and it gives you suggestions as far as how you want to use our tool, but questions you might want to ask the students about that particular article or that particular area. So really exciting stuff. The developers have 4 things on the go. This is the only one they were allowed to show me, but a lot of AI focus as far as driving engagement and attention, but also saving time for instructors. That AI automated feedback tool, we had one quote that the sales team was pretty bummed about because it was like, oh, they only saved 9 hours, but the developers clapped for joy because if we could save every instructor 9 hours of time, a PhD should not be looking at word count. A PhD or a master's or a teaching assistant should not be looking at margins. Technology should be doing that for them. So lastly, this is our goal. It's educational impact. Pedagogy geeks are our people. So Nancy, if you asked that question, I hope you're in that camp. Teaching and learning, centers for teaching innovation, instructional designers, CIOs that have a crush on pedagogy. We work with hundreds of institutions worldwide. We're up to about 220. And again, our education impact is really a goal. So the last thing that I wanted to kind of insert, if you want to look at some of the aspects with our articles on AI, it moved from language, LLM into AI about 2 years ago. Feel free to go and click on this. I'll put it in the chat or email me and I can connect you with somebody who's much smarter in AI than I am. I can give you the good understanding, but obviously we have a team of engineers that are building this in Amsterdam. And that's it for me. Thanks so much for your time.